What's up, Money Minds? Welcome back to another video edition of Market Briefs by the Minority Mindset. Today is September 22nd, and here's some business and financial news you can finally use. Welcome to Minority Mindset's Market Briefs Evergreen Series, Austin, Texas. Edition 1 of 3. Yeah, that is a bit wordy, but I think it'll catch on. I'm not actually here right now, and neither is the rest of the team. We are currently either sweating profusely in the Texas's 100-degree weather, or we're inside a nicely air-conditioned convention center in downtown Austin. Whatever the case may be, we are having a blast at FineCon 2021 this year, and if you want to follow all of our adventures and shenanigans in Austin, Texas from FineCon, I'll leave a link in the description below on how you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We'll be posting a lot on those platforms over the next few days, so if you want to see all of our shenanigans from Austin, Texas, make sure to follow before you go. That also means there won't be any market recaps for the next few days, but we promise to fill you in on everything that went down while we were gone as soon as we get back. In today's financial tip of the day, in order to start building wealth, you have to start building a budget. Learning to actually set a direction for your money and then building a lifestyle around that budget, you can watch your wealth grow in a safe and consistent route. But this can lead to some big mistakes if you don't do it right. If you want to learn everything there is to know about budgeting, our team wrote a complete article to Budgeting Basics on our website, and I'll link it for you in the description below. Before we continue today, make sure to smash that thumbs up button below and hit that notification bell too. That way YouTube shows our videos to way more money minds around the world, and we can keep making videos just like this one. Thanks for doing that. Our first story of the day today is all about policy and how it looks like the Fed has got some empty pockets. The Federal Reserve started its much anticipated two-day policy meeting yesterday. It still has 2 more to go before the start of 2022. So we thought it would be fun to play a little game called Likely, Unlikely, or Very Unlikely. This is all, of course, just for the September 21st and 22nd meeting. Will the Fed announce a taper? We think that's unlikely. Economists have shifted their expectations for a taper announcement until at least the November 2nd and 3rd Fed meeting. Tapering is just a fancy word for the gradual slowing of the pace of the Fed's asset purchasing, i.e. bonds, to increase the money supply. Next up, will the Fed change its economic projections? We think this is likely, but nothing too crazy. The Fed so far has been pretty split when it comes to the economic outlook for the rest of 2021. And at this moment, a rate hike is not expected until at least 2022. But Chairman Powell will likely adjust some projections based on recent inflation and job report numbers. Lastly, will the Fed run out of money? This is unlikely. Last week, the Fed's balance sheet hit an enormous $8.5 trillion. That's an all-time high. But it is super important to mention here that there is a big difference between personal debt, like something that you and I can obtain, and sovereign debt. Sovereign debt, otherwise known as national debt, is what the Fed has, and it's kind of the entire foundation of our economy. A dollar that exists today only has value because it's backed by debt. It's essentially how money's created. Do you think that a taper is actually coming soon, or do you think that the Fed will continue to buy assets for the foreseeable future? Join the conversation below and let me know your thoughts. Next up in our second story, it's all about spending and, more importantly, self-control. Shoppers went a little crazy once the pandemic slowed and restrictions began lifting. In the first half of 2021, retail sales spiked by over 21%. To be fair, there was a lot of built-up anticipation to return to our normal lives, but impulse buying can be a super bad habit to pick up. If you've gone a little overboard this year or want to make sure you don't in the future, here's a few tips to control your impulse buying. Tip number 1 is just to wait it out. If you really, really want something, you're going to have to want it in 2 days as well. When you're getting that itch to splurge on something that you really want, give yourself a day or 2 to think about if it's really worth it, if you can afford it, and if it's something that's actually necessary. Trust us, sometimes letting the idea sit or talking about it with another person makes you realize that it's not actually worth it, and it might save you from some serious buyer's remorse. Tip number 2 is give yourself an allowance. Honestly, you should not feel bad about wanting new things. You just need to make sure that you're not hurting your financial health. If you really love to shop, reconstruct your budget and give yourself a spending allowance. Then you'll be able to treat yourself mindfully without going overboard. And number 3 is just stay outside. If a lot of your splurging habits come from seeing cool new stuff in stores, try curbside pickup instead. This allows you to actually get the things that you need without being tempted to look at other things that are on display. It's basically like putting on some blinders. And trust us, we get it. Shopping gives everyone a little instant gratification, and that's pretty easy to get hooked on. So at the end of the day, just remember, it is totally okay to want to have nice new things. You just need to make sure that you can afford them, actually want them, and that they fit into your budget first. That is it for our main two stories of the day today, so let's take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, Coinbase. Finding a reliable cryptocurrency brokerage is like finding a needle in a haystack. Luckily, we know a product that makes buying cryptocurrency simple and safe. And if you haven't guessed already, that platform is called Coinbase. Here's just a short list of the features that we absolutely love about Coinbase. It is super easy to buy and sell popular digital currencies. You can protect your crypto with their vault. You can manage all of your coins with their simple and easy to use mobile app. As of today, Coinbase has helped over 20 million users exchange well over $150 billion worth of crypto, and you could be next. And just for being a money mine, Coinbase will give you some Bitcoin for free when you invest your first $100. So if you want to get started cryptocurrency investing with Coinbase, I'll leave a link in the description below on exactly how you can do that. Big thanks to Coinbase for sponsoring this video, and now back to the news. Next up is a news section that we like to call the Joke of the Day. Today's Joke of the Day comes directly from our Guac Talk community Discord. And by the way, if you haven't checked out our Guac Talk community Discord, I'll leave a link for you in the description below. Our Guac Talk Discord is a great place for you all to talk about stocks, investing, wealth, and of course, guac. So if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to check out that link in the description below. Today's joke is from Raging Pork Bun, and here's the joke. What's the avocado's favorite arcade game? If you guessed guac-a-mole, then you have definitely heard that joke before, or you are way too into dad jokes. Thanks again for the joke, and if you want a chance to have your joke or maybe a comment featured in the very next Market Briefs newsletter, make sure to join the conversation and leave a comment below. Lastly, today is our Mind Break section, and it's a good thing they saved a copy. The very first edition of Frankenstein sold for a massive $1.17 million. The rare classic broke the world auction record for printed work written by a woman. Frankenstein was originally published by Mary Shelley back in 1818. Congrats, Mary. But Money Minds, that is it for our Minority Mindset Market Briefs Evergreen Series Austin, Texas edition #1. We should probably work on that title. Keep hustling, and I will see you all in the next one.